Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be the shadow.
Well, wait a minute. One last question. I gotta.
So we have time.
I think I remember at the end of last year, I was so exhausted. And I was so full of information, and I'm kind of a shiny things person.
Yeah.
You know, somebody would come in and I'm like, hate them for the first day, and then by the second day I'm like, oh, a shiny thing. I want to do that, or I want to know that. And I was, and plus I was DT6, so we were the last presenter. I was completely burnt out. And then I get the syllabus for the theory paper. And I'm like, my advisor's Bill, but now I'm calling Addie. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm a break. We need time to assimilate. You know, but so what I did was I decided that I had an intellectual need to understand the theory that was under, I needed a theory. I really needed something to hang my hat on. So I did my paper on complexity theory, and God bless Bill, he read it. You know, I mean, it's not, it was the process of doing that paper that was really, I got so sick of reading the word emergence. Where did that come from? Well, turns out, complexity theory and the edge of chaos and positive deviation, all of that stuff is really helpful in explaining that. But the paper itself then is helpful in how it informs my thinking about other things. But it didn't lead directly to my project. And it was really an intellectual choice, not a, which comes into feeling. But I could not possibly have been in touch with my feelings at the end of last year. I was so burnt out. So hang in there, choose something you're really interested in, because you're going to do a lot of reading on it, and just write it, you know, because it will serve you well, no matter what it is.
So I have to ask, how long is the theory paper?
Well, you're given a syllabus that just really lays it out for you.
Do they still get that?
That just lays it out for you, and it's really helpful.
Like 25 pages.
No, it's not that long.
No, 20 to 35. It depends where you are.
No, not 35.
No.
Some people had 25 maximum.
Total. Mine was
wasn't it?
25 pages and it had on.
It could have changed too.
Do you know what?
Bill
It's
might
not
be the
that
good person to
long,
answer that
and it's in
question.
sections. You
Yeah.
can do it.
No, I know, I just was curious just for my own.
They'll tell you.
Yeah, ask
So
that.
how does the theory paper, because you guys do a group consultation project and then you can break out into your own how does that theory paper go into that consultation project that you do with two other people who
Good transition.
Nicely done.
you didn't have to do it.
I told you, it just happened.
It just
Set your
emerged. It's
intention.
emergent.
We have all well OSR 16. So for me. But no.
So did they lay it out like the design piece where here's a whole bunch of consultation projects and
Yes.
your theory paper kind of matched
They
that?
assign you a team.
No, they got to pick our top 3 choices.
But then they
Remember,
pick
they
up.
made us one of our top 3 choices.
All right, let's let one person answer. Don.
Yeah, so I'm not sure that, at least for me, I know it, well, I am sure for me, but I think probably for most people, the theory paper was not really directly linked to the consultant projects in the fall. Now that's different for the individual projects in the winter. So my theory paper was very much directly linked to my my fall, my winter project that was not just completed. But the consultant work in the fall was really getting the students' experience in that consulting role and engaging as a team with another organization and not necessarily around your particular theory.
So just to answer the question really specifically, we got a list of possible projects and we were asked to give our top 3, considering where our interests were, where our theories were, and all of that was taken into account. And the faculty also took into account who were already on the same design team and who were, you know, different CLGs were together in that. So you got to choose your top choices, and then from there the faculty put you in 2 groups. And I think for some, and we can talk a little bit about your consulting project as it may or have related or didn't relate or how it may have informed your project. for some, I think it matched really well with where their interests lie, and for others, it didn't. And that's, part of the process. And, the question is then, what do you take from that? What do you learn from that?
Because that seems like a lot of time between when you write your theory paper and then when you're doing your own consultation project that you choose. And I feel like a lot could happen for me in that time.
A lot does happen.
I'm like, my mind.
And that's okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Then you just read somebody else's theory paper.
What it does give you is a little bit of the process of a change, of change process, working with an external client and there are certain steps that you will follow in your consulting team that follow a consulting process. And so you'll have that experience that may help inform then your own project.
And you guys really set up those the first ones? So, like clients?
No.
Faculty does.
The faculty,
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
Go ahead.
I was going to add to, so you do all that work over the summer, and even though in some respects the consulting project seems like it's slightly tangential, especially if you didn't pick a client to work with, you've done that work over the summer on really honing in on the theory, and I can speak for myself, I use that as a lens from that point forward. So I carried that work with me, and it really helped me sift through the mountains of work that continued to come. You finish that paper and you're like, please God, give me a break, and then here's 500 more pages, here's another. But you're able to actually now navigate through that a lot better because you've really gotten in touch with what's important to you.
And also the piggyback on what
Maya. Okay, go.
I am thinking about the phrase, okay, anyway.
Piggyback work,
Okay. So in the consulting project, we have to make write a personal learning goal, specific for a consulting project. And of course, you will choose a very good topic, like the topic you like best in your theory paper, so you cannot forget it. Anyway, even though that's not related, it's exactly related to the core of your area of focus. So what I did was, I can write some my learning goal based on the theory paper. So I have to write three pieces of learning goals for a consulting project. One of them is related to my theory paper, and that was really a good experience because I can use that theory to see the real practical experience. So that was really nice opportunity for us.
That's another good question. So as we're about to go into summertime, what amount of time should we be budgeting to accomplish this task?
lot.
Like as we're talking about summer plans and summer, is it 20 hours a week, 10 hours a week? Like what is it like you went all the way through the summer going full out? Like I'm just trying to think in terms of
It depends on you.
Yeah, it's worry time versus actually work time.
Yeah, that's huge.
The worry
But-
time.
And you know what, taking time maybe at the beginning just to identify books, because that's where you're gonna be, that's kind of the biggest thing, is identifying what books you're gonna be looking at. And, because once you have that, then it's just a matter of reading through, skimming through, depending on what you're wanting from that, and then taking the learning from that resource. So once you have the books in place, then it's just a matter of going through them and writing. But that might be where you want to focus and getting that.
And articles are shorter than books.
Yes, yes. And I will add that Addie gave us brilliant advice that said, you don't have to read a book cover to cover, which I'm the rule follower, so I needed somebody to give me permission not to read a book cover to cover. But really, you're mining for the work that's important to what you're doing. So
That's actually pretty fun. You get a huge, well, you don't have to, but if you want to get a whole range of materials that you're interested in, and then you start gleaning, you find these things, and then they start, at least for me, they start hanging together and coming into a structure that worked for a paper. And I didn't want to spend a lot of time reading and writing about stuff that didn't interest me, so you find the pieces that work and pull them together.
Oh, are your papers available for us to?
They're online.
That's online.
Well, not all post them, so for the ones who do post, then you have access to them.
Okay, so that's just on
That's
storyline.
just on a storyline.
Yeah.
If you look on the website under My OSR